What's up, everybody? We are back here on AFTERBUZZ TV with The Bachelorette After Show Season 13, Episode 1. Rachel Lindsay is the official Bachelorette. I'm so excited. We have a whole new panel. It's going to be a blast. We're going to break it down right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my gosh, it's good to be back. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. If you've never been here before, or if you have, welcome. This is where we break down the Bachelorette every single week. We break down what happens on the show, break down the outfits. We got our outfit correspondent here in studio. She's already talking about the dudes' outfits. Guys, we have a lot to break down. This is going to be, I think, the most testosterone-filled season I've ever seen. And my name is Danny Hoyt. I'm excited to be with you guys again. But it's not just me, and we have an entirely new panel. One face that's been here before, and two brand new faces, and then one returning. Christina will be back. But for tonight, to my left, the wonderful, the lovely, the southern
That's right.
Sterling
That's
Cates.
right.
Can I say your middle
hey
name?
Guys. Yeah, sure.
Sterling Strudwick Cates. How cool is that name, by the way?
Yes. You
Isn't
can just
it-
call me Sterling now. We'll leave
No, it's gonna be
Strudwick
Sterling
out of
Strudwick
it.
Cates.
I spent most of my life pretending I didn't have a middle name so that I didn't have to say Strudwick,
No.
but here we are.
Cool middle names are the best. It's unique. I love it. To your left, Christina Alexis. We thought you were called Alexis, by the way. When
I know.
I met you over email and everybody's like, Alexis, you're like, no, my name's Christine. Christine, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Danny. I'm so happy to be here.
A fun little fact, by the way, your sister was on Nick's season.
She was. My sister was Dominique Alexis. She was on, Nick's season. So she
I
knows
didn't know
Rachel.
that.
She knows a lot of the girls who were in that opening little package.
We are going to dig some info out of you.
Hey, I don't know.
Renee Ariel. She'll be a familiar face, and she's here with us tonight. Renee, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. You're a big Bachelor fan.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot to say, and I have a crush, but we'll get to it.
You already have a crush?
Oh,
I
yeah.
do too.
I have a
Can't
couple
lie.
of crushes.
All right, we can
sure.
cut the beautiful music. Was that the official song, by the way?
That was like
Yeah.
the promo song
That was
that
the
they
promo
made
song.
in all the advertisements.
Okay, initial thoughts, overall thoughts. What are you thinking? How are you feeling after tonight's episode? Ladies, spill it all.
I am just so happy it's her. I think she's my favorite Bachelorette ever.
Already?
I think it's safe to say.
That's
yes.
a bold claim.
I'm
Based on
going to
what?
stand by that. Well, I loved her all of next season, obviously. I just love that, she's Southern. She has a cute accent. She's smart. She knows what she wants. She's just, like, so genuine. I've, like, always loved her ever since she got the first impression rose for Nick.
Can you guys say the same thing? She's your favorite already?
I don't know if I can say she's my favorite yet, but I love her. I thought it was great that ABC chose her. I loved her on Nick's season because, she got the first impression rose, and I felt like she always was just very, like, present and there, and it seemed like she was really genuine. Like, she kept her eyes on the prize the entire time, and I love her style. I think this is going to be so great. I think she has her work cut out for her this season.
For sure.
I love her so far. I think well, first of all, she's so well spoken. She's so intelligent. She's definitely there for the right reasons, and I love how chill she is in such awkward situations.
Yes.
Yeah,
Even
you're
JoJo's
so
season,
right.
there were moments where these people would be so inappropriate, and she was like, and you'd watch and you feel for her, but like Rachel kept it together. Like the most
Right.
awkward jokes would be presented to her, and she like laughed it off. There was a puppet, and
Yeah.
she was fine. Like she's
Seriously?
got
Well,
this.
but she did say she was creeped out. Like, she keeps it real, but she's
I was
also
creeped
not
out
awkward.
as a viewer.
Yeah.
I was too.
All right, so before we break down all the guys, the limo entrances, the whole 9 yards, I do want to say two things. One, Brooks Forrester, a lot of people on the chat roll, which, by the way, hi, chat roll. You guys are the best. As always, I will have this open and trying to answer your questions. Do you have chat roll going as well?
Yeah. Wait, the live chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up right now.
Amazing. So yeah, we'll try to get some questions at the end. As always, it's something we started doing last season, and we'll try to incorporate that as well. But I want to answer a couple things. First of all, Brooks Forrester. No, Brooks is not back because Brooks lives in Utah. He just moved to Utah, back to
for
Utah
him.
with his girlfriend last week. So he's back in Salt Lake City. However, he is doing a daily show on Anchor about The Bachelor. So if you guys want to hear Brooks' take, he's still involved with the franchise
Nice.
on the brand new app Anchor. So that's where Brooks is. And then two, you guys remember Chelsea Breach. She left for
Yesterday.
Boston at a red eye.
Well,
She
yeah.
got there this morning. She's engaged, getting married to a Boston Red
exciting.
Sox player. No big deal.
Oh my
Really
God.
casual.
We
Oh
love
my-
her. And she just moved to Boston, so she's officially like moving and doing her life over there now.
Yeah, she's
And we're
killing it.
excited for her.
Wow.
So to answer those questions, because I know you guys are asked, that's what they are. And by the way, there's a wrestler, for those of you that are like OG, that have been here for years, Kathy Kelly, if you guys remember, who was on this panel forever, this would have been like the perfect season for her. She works for the WWE now. She's one of their main hosts, and so she's into wrestling and The Bachelor. So we miss all of you. So just a little shout out to the previous squad. Christina will be back next week. Okay, ladies, let's break this down. It's me and you three. I don't know how this is gonna go.
It's gonna be great. What do you mean?
Fellas, I'm gonna try to
can't
hold it
wait.
down for the testosterone in here. So we got Rachel Lindsay, 31, Dallas, Texas. I love the line. She's sweet, sour, classy, yet sassy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a perfect encompassing.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was going to say before, just like overall impressions, that yes, she's smart and she has all this stuff going for her, but you can also tell that there's that little feisty side to her, that she doesn't mind like getting in a little trouble. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how she like handles that this season, especially with that Colombian guy.
Yes,
Colombia.
he's one of my favorites. I think one of the guys said it best in the house that she has this real jovial side to her. She's fun-loving, and like you said before, I think that's really great about her, that she keeps it cool in all these awkward situations. She knows how to like just let it roll off, and you know, she's been through this before, like just before this experience. So it's good that she can relate to the guys that are there and understand maybe the nerves that they might be under and the weird things that come out of being nervous in that situation.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely think because she's so like fresh off the last season that she was really taking all of the insight that she gained from it into this season. Like I do think she's going to be paying attention to the people who she would maybe not have paid attention to if not being in that position herself, you know?
I mean,
I'm
to your
excited to see how
point,
she does
look at
it.
the costume people. Alexis is like one of my favorite people off of all of last season, and she showed up in a freaking, what was it? Was it actually
Shark.
dolphin?
It was a shark.
It was a shark she called a dolphin?
Yes.
Yeah, she thought it was
But
a
this is
dolphin.
definitely a penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's funny because in that package before, like, she was the one telling you, like, don't overlook somebody in a costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed up,
She
of
knows
course.
how it is.
Okay, so I want to talk about that for a second, because usually we see the new Bachelor, Bachelorette have this moment with previous Bachelors and or Bachelorettes.
Right.
Was
yeah.
JoJo, Caitlyn, let's run down the line of all of them. Were they all just not available?
I don't know.
Did you guys
To
know?
me-
Like, wasn't that kind
Yeah,
of weird?
to me, it kind of made more sense to have people who actually know her, because if you look on social media, she doesn't have anything with any of those former bachelorettes. Like, how would
Yeah.
they know? I mean, I guess they could have given advice.
Oh,
from being
Misha
in
C
her
just brought it up at the
shows,
exact
but-
same time. Yeah, I think we always see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they can do whatever they want, but I kind of expected to have somebody there.
Yeah, I think they did it to try to make it more like relatable. Like I think when you see someone with their friends and interacting with their friends, it makes us feel like we are their friends as well, as opposed to trying to force friendships with like past bachelorettes and having them like give advice, because then it just kind of feels awkward. And I think after time and again, it's gotten old, and so they're trying to switch it up. I think they may do this for future seasons.
You think so?
I agree. I thought it felt more realistic, and like we were just there with their gal pals, like chilling and talking
Yeah.
about it. And I think because, you know, Rachel is so new to this franchise and she's the first Black Bachelorette, and these girls just came fresh off this experience with her, I think it was perfect
I
pairing.
still think I would have liked to hear like JoJo or somebody recent.
Okay, what do they ever say that's like super helpful? They always just say, just follow your heart and don't do this or whatever. But these girls like actually know Rachel, and like they're like, give these people a chance. We know that you might not.
All right,
you know
Sterling,
what I mean?
hypothetical. You're about to meet 30 dudes. Do you want to talk to your friend that you knew for like a couple nights on a season, or do you want to
Okay,
talk
they
to?
didn't know each other.
Or
They
do you
lived
talk-
together
okay,
for a
for a
month.
couple weeks on a season, or do you want to talk to a girl who literally just went through the exact same thing and can give you advice, and she
Okay,
made it out
maybe-
alive and is with somebody?
Maybe both, if that's an option.
Okay,
That's not an option.
no, Danny, because you know what they can do? They can just watch old seasons and watch the other
No,
bachelorettes
apparently-
talking to old bachelorettes.
No, I'm gonna
about
put
it.
you on blast, because apparently they can't. Because I was asking Renee, I was like, "Did you ever watch like Juan Pablo back in the day?" She's like, "No, I can't find it anywhere. They don't exist online."
Right.
No,
I think for
Okay.
the Bachelorette, they'll pull up the footage
I
for
think
her.
this is what it boils down to.
I know,
No
this
one
is-
cares about what any of those people are doing that we can't even like think of right now. I mean, obviously like Caitlyn and JoJo, but everyone cares about Corinne right now. Everyone
Yeah,
cares
true.
about those
Yeah,
people
that's
that
true.
are more relevant.
And Raven.
Will tune in.
I just thought it
And
was
Raven
interesting.
and
Yeah.
Alexis. People love those
I can't wait
girls.
for Paradise. My God, I can't wait for Paradise.
Me too.
Apparently, they're going to bring in random people who have
What?
never been in the franchise before.
Where'd you hear that?
I heard it.
I also
They're-
heard it's not going to be in Mexico. It's going to be, I mean,
What?
that could be wrong.
No, drop some.
I-
Let's talk
No,
about this.
I heard
What?
that.
Who? Where?
I heard that actually. I can say this. It was on the Tomorrow Show, which is Kevin Undergaro's
Yeah.
podcast. It was Chase McNary.
Oh yeah, I was
He
just with him at
said-
Stagecoach.
Yeah, he said that that's what they were doing.
Whoa,
Interesting.
curveball.
Major curveball.
Wow.
All right.
That
Well,
was like last week's episode.
and you heard not Mexico. You heard somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know where, but just not there.
Why, is your sis going?
I don't know. She might be
Should
there.
I sign up?
If you really like her, maybe you should sign up. She might be there.
I'm just teasing. It's
Yeah,
just-
Danny, they're
guys,
not bringing people.
All
from
right,
the
let's move on to the limo time. Okay, so
Wait, this is perfect.
this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through the guys, and then the ones that had produced packages, because they highlighted, I think it was 7 guys or 8 guys. We'll kind of stop and talk about those ones as they go. So first out of the limo, Peter, 30, business owner, Madison, Wisconsin. I really like that he said best of luck with the Wisconsin guys. I kind of like that.
I'm so into Peter.
Why are you into Peter?
Okay,
He's so
Peter.
cute and confident, and I just like the way he
fine.
talks. I mean, I know nothing about him really at this point, aside from he's from Wisconsin and he's very good looking.
Yeah.
But I like him, just his presence. I enjoy, and he's not too much. Which a lot of the guys started off great, and then they became too much throughout the episode. But he's one that like he stayed good throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm here for Peter. I like the gap in his tooth because they match.
Was he the
and
one that
it's
said the
cute.
thing about the matching gap?
Yeah.
Yes.
And whenever she was like, actually, I don't like chocolate, and he's like, I'll throw it in the fire right now. I was just like, yeah, you want someone who's gonna just like walk
Love
through the
your
fire
flaws.
for you, you know?
Next up was Josiah Daniel Graham, who we saw the package about, the prosecutor and the brother who he cut down from a tree. It's a really
Yeah, that
serious story.
Yeah.
Very intense and inspiring story, just
Yeah.
because it came full circle to with his job now. I think he'll be maybe a front runner.
Well, I think Christine, we kind of looked at each other. We were like, oh, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, I thought his story was really compelling. Immediately, I was drawn in. I will say, though, I liked him a lot more in his package than I did when
Yeah.
he actually met Rachel.
You liked his package a lot more?
Yeah,
Got it.
because I feel like that was...
Thank you. None of you got that but me. And who's back producing us, by the way, tonight?
Jimbo in the booth.
Okay.
Jimbo in the booth.
Jimbo
Jimbo
in the
in the
booth. What's up, Jimbo? You're on it. I love it.
Yeah, I loved his video
Yeah,
package. Later on at the cocktail party and everything, I thought he just came off a little too strong for me. But I do agree with you, Sterling, that I think he'll be a front runner. I think he'll end up being a fan favorite just because of how outspoken he is. And I think he'll keep Rachel on her toes for sure.
When he started talking in the third person, that was it for me.
That's
Like,
what I was
like,
thinking.
man, we were
Yeah.
rooting for you.
The
Like,
amount of times he said Josiah, I think that's why I really learned his name, is because of how many times he said it.
maybe that's what he was trying to do.
Right, it worked. I swear, in the beginning, I really liked him. I thought he just came across just like a man. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the way he presented himself. He just seemed confident. And then as the episode went on, he became very cocky and more mature. And then watching him talk to Rachel, it wasn't like they were connecting. And it's like he was giving the same spiel then to Rachel,
Yeah.
as opposed to actually connecting with her and having a conversation.
Right.
However, out of all the guys, I do think he's going to make it like maybe at least top 5.
Top 5. All right, next up is Brian, 37, chiropractor from Miami, speaks
Ooh,
Spanish.
Colombiano.
chemistry, Brian.
The chemistry between
They
them.
have some intense passion
hot.
happening. Yeah, and he's
Intense.
hot.
Is he one of the hottest for you guys?
I don't know. I think it's just because they're so.
Is it the
like,
Latino
flirty.
thing, or is it that attractive when guys have like this like?
I think
it's his confidence with her
Okay.
that's so attractive. Like when they were in that little doorway and the way she was looking at him and he was like taking, I was like, okay, yeah, he's front runner.
It's for
me.
sure their chemistry.
It's
is
their
what it is.
chemistry,
Because
too,
in the
yeah.
beginning, like I wasn't super into him. I thought he was like fine, but nothing really like stuck out until I really saw them interact. And I was like, oh, Brian. And I was like,
Yeah, he has this like effortless, suave confidence to him. It's not like, oh, I'm here, I'm this really cool guy, I gotta make sure she likes me. He's just like, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm here.
And when I don't know if you guys watched like their Ellen clip. I know we did a little
Yeah.
bit, but he didn't even stand out then so much to me when that like aired a few weeks ago or whenever that was. But tonight he definitely.
Peter stood out to
up.
me though.
Peter,
from
well,
the Ellen
Peter,
special.
you can just
Ooh.
look at Peter.
We'll
and
get
now
there.
it's
We'll
like
get there.
a-
We'll get there.
Okay.
Next up, Kenny King, pretty boy pitbull Kenny King, with the 10-year-old daughter. Okay, I
Okay, he
did
grew
not
up.
This
like.
is my boy right
yeah,
here.
this is your boy.
Plug.
So we liked. I don't know. I did not like the wrestling part. I thought it was a little like aggressive, but I
Yeah.
really liked the way he talked about his daughter, and that made him really relatably like awesome.
Yes.
I don't have a daughter, but like something about that struck a chord in me, and so I kind of like this guy.
yeah, I feel the same way. In the beginning, he was too much, and I immediately wrote down no. But then as it went on, and he was talking about his daughter, something just really likable.
He's like
Yeah,
a
he's
person, like a
likable.
showman. He's got this
Yeah.
big personality. I
I
kind
was
of
like,
like.
okay.
He definitely grew on me. I think for Rachel, if we're thinking about like her match,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can see her with a wrestler, honestly, or with someone in that lifestyle.
Why? Is it because it's profession?
I don't know. I don't like that whole. I
Or
don't
it's just
know.
the energy of like what that takes versus what she is?
I'm gonna have to see more
Would you
of
feel
him.
better if I told you he's also a male exotic dancer at Chippendales?
No, is that the truth?
Oh,
Swear to
no.
God, that's
What?
his,
See,
that's
then I
his
was right.
secondary job.
Wait,
That's his,
Chippendales
like,
in what city? This makes it
Vegas.
big in
like,
Vegas.
He has a billboard in
Okay,
Vegas.
just so you guys know, last night at the Billboard Music Awards, you know who went to that show instead of the show? Where her husband was performing?
She went to Magic Mike.
Chrissy Teigen. Oh, I thought it was Chippendales.
She went to Magic
Magic
Mike.
Mike. Well, here I was trying to drop some knowledge. Like I know. Chrissy Teigen went to. Yeah. I tried.
Someone
So
called
he's-
her out for it, and on Twitter she was just like, "Yeah," and it was awesome.
Yeah, she said, yeah. I saw it. Wait, so he's a Chippendales dancer.
So during the day or during the week, he dances for Chippendales, and then on the weekends he wrestles.
Okay, so then I was right. It's not for Rachel.
Yeah, that actually makes me sad
Yeah.
because I
No,
think
in all honesty, he's probably on the show just to get eyes.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
can't
Thank you for
imagine
that. That's
Rachel's.
so helpful.
I can't imagine
So-
Rachel's dad
oh my god, no.
gosh.
ever vibing with
Yeah.
No.
right,
Rachel's
well.
a different kind of caliber of a girl.
Even their chemistry wasn't like on. Like he became likable maybe to the audience, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's her type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a difference between being likable because they have chemistry and then being likable because you have a daughter and you're a good dad.
Yeah, like Brian
Excellent
versus Kenny.
point. Next up, Rob, 29 law student from Houston. I don't remember a thing about him.
Womp womp.
Nope.
He got booted.
Nope.
Next up, Iggy, consulting firm. He's 30. I gotta say, Iggy, it scares me a little bit. I
He's
pointed at you
good.
guys. I said, if I had to put money on who's gonna fight, I mean, after the promo package, the rest of the season, we didn't see him in there. But I feel like he's like the jealous type.
Yeah,
He
exactly. I was gonna say he's for sure insecure, has some jealous issues.
like.
He freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
He's weird.
So as a
Not for
girl,
me.
you guys see it too. Like,
There's just something off about his personality that makes it seem like he could just kind of lose it. Like, if this is
Yeah.
the first day and we're feeling that, like, usually you see this kind
Yikes.
of happen throughout the season, but this is day one. So
and
I'm
just to
kinda concerned.
clarify, when we're saying this stuff, we're basing it off what we saw in the edit. So for those of you guys that are on the show that watch this, and if if we say that, please don't be offended. We're saying it off based off the edit. I'm sure you're all great guys, some capacity. And actually, I think this is the first season in like 5 years that I don't know or have some sort of connection with anybody on the season.
Yeah.
Do you guys know anybody?
No, this season, no.
No.
This is
Super
first season I think
random.
in 5 years. I don't know any. I don't have any connection with any of these people. So
Which is kind of nice. It's a little
is kinda
it's
nice.
fresh to like have a new batch of people.
although there is one of the guy that was working out in the produce package down on the beach. That's where I work out, and he
yeah,
looks
yeah.
semi-familiar. Like I've seen him down. Because I've lived in
Santa
Santa
Monica.
Monica for 3 years, so I live right by that beach area. So that's like where we work
wow.
out. Yeah, and so I feel like he looks like maybe I've seen him.
Probably
I have
seen
to
him
look
before.
for him.
Well, there's a bunch of regular. After you go for a long time, you start noticing like the same faces.
Go find him.
I'm okay.
Just climb up the thing next to him and be like, "What's up?"
I will say though, Iggy did have a suit on that showed his ankles, and he was the only one they like specifically showed that, which I appreciate that because that's definitely like in trend right now. So. Good job, Iggy, on that. Next up is Bryce the Firefighter from Orlando. He's 30. He picked her up and talked to her, which I thought that was very like smooth.
This
Ladies?
is the guy that got in a lot of trouble last week because on his bio on ABC, they've taken it down since. But he got a lot of heat for making a transphobic comment. It was like, "What's your biggest first date fear?" And his answer was that the chick ends up being a dude.
So he's trying to be funny, and
So
it
he's
fell
trying to be
super
funny,
flat.
but then
Yeah.
obviously everyone online just
that's
slammed
not
him for
good.
being transphobic. And so ABC took that comment down. But going into this episode, that's like all I knew about him
Sure.
in general. But so I'm already like,
Well,
that's
if
a
you
bad
had to put
response.
that aside, would you like being picked up?
When you first meet someone, I mean, it's cute in the movies, but in actuality, I wrote down try hard next to him because I felt it didn't feel like, oh, he's so manly and oh, he's picking him up. It didn't feel romantic. It just felt like he was trying too hard. He really had this planned out and it wasn't something she exactly wanted. She didn't mind it. Again, Rachel's super chill. If it was any
Yeah.
other Bachelorette, they probably wouldn't have been as.
Rotor
as-
13 just picked up on the live chat on what you said about the transphobic comment. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
I didn't know
see
that either.
One more thing about that, I didn't like that he picked her up, but I would say in general, I don't like too much physical touch right away. Same thing with Jonathan, who we'll get to later, who was the tickle professional,
Yeah,
tickle
we'll get there.
monster.
Tickle
It's like,
professional.
I don't know you. Like, I'm in a bomb-ass dress. Can you not? Like,
Can you not?
I need you to respect my sleigh and not, like, pick me up like that.
I'm
Do
really
that
happy
later.
you brought that up because her dress dress, I mean, it obviously had to be taped in places. If he's gonna,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a little.
Like, this took time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You saw her contouring in her little package.
I mean, I can
ready.
see how he thought it would be cute.
Guys,
but-
if they end up together in the big scheme of things, will any of that matter? Nope. Just saying. All right, next up, Will, 28 sales manager from Miami.
I like him.
He did the
Miami.
Stefan Urkel, Urkel to Stefan Urkel, and she picked up on it, which made me like her even more. Anybody who recognizes Family Matters? Do you guys even?
Yeah.
Are you old
sure.
enough?
I knew that
fun
for
fact.
sure.
No, my little brother was actually named Stefan after that Steve Urkel
That's
character.
hilarious.
I'm dead
That is
serious.
so great.
Because me and my sisters crushed on him so hard when we were little, and my parents were like, "Oh, you get to name your little brother." Unanimous decision.
You're joking.
Stefan.
Your
I'm
parents
dead
let
serious.
you guys name your little brother?
Yeah.
Was he like
That
a
is
super late
amazing.
to the party sibling?
He's like 4 years
How do you
younger
ask
than
that?
me. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
That's
It was
awesome.
really funny. So when
That's
I saw that, I
so
was like,
cool.
yes, they all know Family Matters. This is cute.
That's
kinda
amazing.
love that a
I
lot.
like him. I think he didn't really have a lot of time this episode, but
Yeah.
I feel like later in the season he's gonna come up and be probably a front runner.
Yeah, I liked his intro. Yeah, we didn't see him too much in the episode. I thought he was creative. That's what I wrote down. And she seemed into it. Again, it could have gone so wrong if she didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then we all
Yeah.
wouldn't have liked him.
Yeah.
But I like
He's
him.
also super cute just in general.
Yeah,
so
he is.
I think he's good.
Next up, Diggy Diggy, with the Teach You How to Diggy. We saw the produced package. I actually really like this.
I like him too.
like this
I'm not
guy.
gonna lie.
I love
Okay,
him.
so I gotta be honest. When Nick was on the very first season, I stuck up for him on this show here on AfterBuzz. Because I was like, he dresses well. He's kind of quiet. Just something about him, right? Fast forward, now he right. Diggy, I think, has a potential to be. I'm just gonna put this out there to be a face of the franchise at some point.
I can see that.
Oh.
Educated, well dressed, well spoken, clean groomed, good looking guy. Like something about him for me was magnetic from the moment I saw. And he has over 500 pair of shoes. My God.
I mean,
575. Yeah.
Even before just going into this episode,
I liked it.
Reading his bio, he was a standout for me.
Yeah.
Because all of them had really juicy answers, and he didn't. So
Yeah.
that's the.
I like him. I liked him in the
But-
beginning. I just couldn't get into why he got his nickname. Like, that's not even his name. And I didn't like that he kept saying, like, I'm going to teach you how to diggy. And I think here's the thing. I think he's really cute, and I
said
really
that
like
once.
his style. It just got stuck in my head. I like his style a lot, and I
Yeah.
think he's very cute, but I just think he's going to get annoying for me. I got a little annoyed even in this
At
episode.
least he didn't say he's the best dressed guy in the room, and he clearly was the best dressed guy in the room.
Yes.
The other dude,
Hands down.
Milton, whatever his name was, got
Milton.
kicked off, and he said it twice. So give me a
And
break.
he wasn't.
And he wasn't. It wasn't even that good. All right,
my
Kyle, 26, marketing consultant. He was the guy that said, "Show you my buns," and he had like the bun and the cheese. Totally fell flat. Christine, did that do it for you? At
Okay,
all?
I was excited because I like bun and cheese. Like, literally, it's
Fair.
so good. Jamaican
Fair.
bun and cheese. But, yeah, that was kind of corny. I was like, meh.
Not a standout.
Wait, Misha C is asking, and I actually don't know this. Is Diggy his real name?
No, it wasn't. He said that was a nickname.
No, I know it's a nickname. Sorry, what is his real name?
I have the cast bios pulled up.
I think he's just under his diggy on
find
there.
it.
Well, so he said that something about his
literally-
digs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why they started calling him Diggy. That's another reason.
But that's how. But he didn't name himself. That's how nicknames happen. People call you something weird. My nickname in college was U-Haul.
Yeah, but is that how
We
you
don't call you
introduce
that
yourself?
Because
now.
I showed up to college with clothes in a U-Haul.
But what if you're like, hey, welcome to the Bachelorette
that
After
weird?
Show. I'm U-Haul. What's up?
Yeah,
That's
no
the
one's calling you that
difference.
now.
Thank God.
Yeah,
They don't have it on there, so I'm going to
He did
Google
say it
him.
in his intro package, though. I think he was like, my
Loud and
name's-
proud.
No, but then he was like, but my nickname's Diggy.
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
remember.
I
If
think
you
he
guys
said
know.
his real
Actual
name.
name.
Oh,
Exactly.
Kenneth. Renee on she just said
Yes,
Kenneth.
Kenneth,
Thank you,
a.k.a.
Renee.
Diggy.
I would go by Diggy too. You know.
I'd go by
but-
Kenneth. I like that name.
Really?
Yeah.
Ken.
Kenneth.
I like Kenny.
Kenneth looks
Kenny.
kind of dorky
Kenny.
on him.
There's already a Kenny. Diggy stands out.
Diggy's cool. I kind of like Diggy. All right.
I dig
Next up
Diggy.
is Blake, 29, Marine veteran. He talked about his grandparents having their 65th anniversary. We did see later that he left, but he seemed like a good guy.
I liked him. He
Yeah.
seemed like a
Wait, who was this?
good
Blake,
guy.
It doesn't even matter.
Blake-
He's gone.
Blake K?
He
No,
left,
this was
so,
Blake K.
Yeah.
I was so happy one of the Blakes left, so we only have to focus on one Blake.
Oh yeah, it's the worst when that happens. Next up is Brady, 29, male model. He broke the ice. He's from
Okay,
Miami.
male model.
Done.
The literal.
Is he not an actual male model?
He can't be, right?
Why?
I don't know.
I mean,
Do we know him?
I don't know who he
What
is.
does he model? I'm just saying, aspiring model would be more accurate.
I don't know.
Like aspiring drummer.
Moving on. Next up was Dean, 25, the startup recruiter from Venice. He met her. He was originally on After the Final Rose. He's the one that said, "Once I go black, I'll never go back." Can I ask you honestly, Christine, as somebody who's black, did that offend you?
it was annoying and
It didn't
offensive.
bother Rachel.
Yeah.
Or do you think it did a little?
I want to hope that it bothered her as much
Yeah.
as it bothered me, because I was like, really? You have to go there? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, everybody knows she's the first Black Bachelorette. Like, don't come at it with some weird, cheesy one-liner that's tired and overused. And it's like, you know, as Black women, like, you don't want to be fetishized just for being Black. And
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, you're just so different. You're Black. I want to get to know you. I'm never going back.
Do you think it was a producer line?
That's good that you bring that up. Maybe it was, now that you say that.
I feel like if it wasn't a producer line, they definitely encouraged him and approved
absolutely.
it. They weren't like, oh no, maybe you shouldn't.
Like, it
say
came
that.
out when they were talking backstage, and one was like, you gotta use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because of the way he came out just out of the limo. He was like, oh, like, what did you think? He was so insecure about it just coming
Yeah.
out.
Probably
And-
because of the backlash.
He probably
Yeah,
got so much
probably.
backlash. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at that point forward, I liked him. He seemed like a nice guy. The sandcastle thing, which, I mean, I'm sure they set up as well, but he seemed like cute, and there's nothing terrible about him.
I think he's okay. I honestly think for me, he's gonna get annoying over the season. Like, I just see him being like really like into himself and just
Yeah.
overly confident. He has like a douchey kind of smile for me. I don't know.
I think he's gonna be ultimately too young and just not mature enough for
Well, so,
it.
like-
really young.
25.
So Misha C just said that line is annoying, speaking as a Black woman, and
I
then
agree.
Renee just says it didn't offend me, but it was just whack as hell. Or she said, yeah, whack as hell in my opinion. I don't know. Interesting. All right, next up, Eric, 29, personal trainer from Los Angeles. Everything's great or later. Dancing is my jam. Remember him? He's like dancing with her a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Who was this one?
Eric,
Yeah,
29, personal
Eric.
trainer.
That was the one who kept like purring at her.
No,
Was
no,
it?
that was the other guy who
That's
like
the guy.
was. Yeah, that
Okay,
was.
He
I
bought
was-
the tickets.
No, that's Demario.
That's Demario. Who's next?
Yeah, this guy, he's like was kind of bald, right?
I think so. Also, though, if this is the same guy I'm thinking of, he is in the preview.
Yeah, that's that guy.
And they're like walking over a hill into the sunset, hands
wait, no.
holding.
I was thinking it's the guy that Lee throws under a bus and then he goes into the room and like is like,
Yeah,
it is
we'll-
about me.
We'll get into
That
that.
guy?
I don't think
Yeah,
it is
that was Eric.
That's Eric.
That is Eric. Okay, so it is
that
the
was
same
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Feisty.
Ooh.
Wow.
Next up,
He's in the previous
Demario. He's 30s, an executive recruiter. He said, I want to have many more first moments, a first date, a first kiss, a first Christmas. Aggressive, Renee?
Aggressive. I think he's one of those guys that you meet, that you talk to, that you like, and then ultimately he's a player and like not a good guy. I think he has this like presence that's like, it's confident, so you're like immediately attracted to him, and he's well dressed and he just seems like a cool guy. But even this episode he got annoying and he's full of himself, and I think he might even be the guy that has the girlfriend.
Oh.
I think it's very
yeah.
Wait,
possible.
you putting bet on Demario being the guy?
Possibly. I'm gonna say maybe
I don't
because
think
he's
it's
That's the one that Whitney said she knows some
Yeah.
people that know him and said,
Yeah.
be careful, I heard he has bad intentions.
And how much could you really say? And if they really want to withhold information but put it out later, that's a great introduction, and
right.
that would to go into that.
It's a
You're
good
very
teaser. I also, on his cast bio, one of his answers was, the question was, do you have any phobias that would prohibit your participation in certain activities?
Don't tell me he said
He said,
something.
no, I'm perfect.
Oh, yeah, not fan of
I
guys
did like
that.
on his bio that he said a perfect date would be going to a Beyonce and Jay-Z concert.
He
and
did
then he
say
also
that.
said that he's looking for his person to wear denim on denim like Britney and
And
Justin. I was
Justin.
like, okay,
Denim on
both
denim on
references
denim.
I fully appreciate, so I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I like him, but I like him. So this is bad because it's like he's being fake to her, but inside the house, I was like, no, Demario, you're starting
Listen
to
to
like.
these back and forths. Like Nina DeMarco
Maybe.
goes, Demario's there for the wrong reasons. Right next to Renee, Demario's hilarious. He's the one that had the Britney line. Misha, Demario, I'm 50-50. Like, everybody's
I'm
split on him.
50-50 now after watching the full episode. Before I was like, he's for sure a front runner for me. But now when I was seeing him inside and how like cocky he was getting, and him and Josiah, they
Him
were
and
going.
Josiah are going
Yeah.
to butt heads
They
later on
are.
the season. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
have very similar personalities with how cocky they are, how they're like, oh, I'm gonna wife up Rachel. Like as it goes on, they're too confident about it.
I see him being like a low-key villain later, because they're setting up
Agreed.
Lee to be like the main villain
And
for
he
coming
is.
at everybody, but I think later on, like Demario's gonna make it really far and then start snaking people out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they
for real.
always
I'm with
set it
that.
up to be somebody in this, like the bait and switch. Next up,
I'm upset about that.
the
about
bait and
Demario.
switch? About
No,
Demario?
just about because I was so excited about him. I thought for sure he was
Who
going to be a
knows?
front runner. And now I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Next up is Blake, personal trainer and sports nutritionist, the sex addict guy.
Hard
Oh my
pass.
God.
This
Hard
is
pass.
the guy that said I wanted to drum up something new for you. The guy, yeah,
They
this is the
switched
guy that I
his
said I think I've
profession.
seen. Yeah.
They switched his
Yeah.
profession
Oh, yeah, let's
from
talk about
trainer
this.
to aspiring drummer.
Why did
Yeah.
that happen, by the way?
Because maybe it's
Maybe he just changed
Stands
his
out
mind.
more.
You know, maybe he like was a personal trainer and then he decided to
He just had a
Sometimes you
sudden
wake
like
up-
midlife
yeah.
revelation.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a hard pass on him, mainly because he was so wrapped up with the Waboom guy or whatever it is. That, like, why are you picking him as your competition? Like,
Yes.
I would be a little more insecure about, like, the DeMarios or the Josiahs or the Bryans.
He's
Okay, the
using
Bryans. I'll revert everything I said and start with that. Instead of, like, picking the guy that's, like, screaming all the time. Obviously, he's not going to be the winner.
You don't think so?
I don't know. It was just too much. He was too wrapped up on Lucas.
Yeah, that's a losing battle. You don't want to go after that guy because it'll end up being like he's the guy who's kept, and then
Yeah.
you look stupid because you spent the whole time berating him instead of focusing on your strengths.
Right.
And I feel like insecure guys always make that rookie mistake. Stop focusing on that guy. Focus on your connection with Rachel.
See, I didn't even care. He lost me after the package. Like, after
Yeah.
his whole sex thing, I was, like, so over him.
Done.
And then
Bye.
he just got worse. So I was
Yeah.
like, wow, who knew you could even get worse?
Pass on him.
Misha C goes, that damn dude talking about his penis and how much sex he likes. Boy, bye. Think his junk myself, aspiring drummer, be gone.
Yeah,
True.
I like
I
that.
love Misha. She cracks me.
Co-sign.
All right, next up, Frederick, the executive assistant, 27. They haven't seen or talked to each other in over 15 years. How cool is that blast from the past?
I kind of love it.
Yeah, I kind of really love it.
Yeah,
not
I'm
gonna
here
lie.
for when that. We all like gasped when
I had
when he brought the
goosebumps. I was
yearbook out.
like-
I was like, oh my god! Can you imagine this story if they get married and have kids and then they're going to
Wild
tell
story.
everyone that they like grew up together?
Well, here's my thing that I was thinking about. I was like, how has that never happened before? They've gone into like someone's middle school has it, and I just don't remember. Like maybe like way back,
I
but in
feel
recent
like-
seasons, I don't remember anything like that
I feel
happening.
like a lot of these people, like the contestants, have all come from like small towns, and I'm kind of surprised that they haven't known each other from before, like a situation like this. So that is interesting that this hasn't happened before.
So
Interesting.
he didn't know she was going to be the Bachelorette
No, he-
when signing up, or he did.
He did know.
He had
Okay,
to have
I
seen
almost
her.
find that.
Well, that's why
Weird.
that's why they started casting sooner, because they had some people that were interested, and then that's why casting went so different and lasted so much longer. Is
So they,
because Rachel was a last minute decision for them, and so they had to extend casting to basically fill out basically different parts of the cast that they hadn't, I don't know, anticipated, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he's. I mean, maybe it's just an age difference. I think he's so much younger than her because he was
it
in
4
third
years?
grade.
Only 4 years.
When she-
Yeah, it's
27.
only 4 years.
Didn't Christine? Didn't you write it down? It was 27 and 31.
31.
Yeah.
I don't get that age difference either because it's like she was like I was berating him and stuff. I'm like, who would?
She was his camp counselor.
She was like in 7th grade. She's berating.
But if you're
a
in
third
8th
grader.
grade,
She's probably just
Counselor.
sassy.
Yeah.
if you're in
I
8th
don't
grade
know.
having a 5th grade, yeah, I could see like having a 5th grade and you're.
He was
But
in
she
third
said
grade.
he was in 3rd grade, so she must have been in like 7th.
Maybe
thought
she's
it
super
was
smart and he's
their-
super dumb.
Maybe.
I'm just
I don't know.
saying.
It's weirder when you're younger, but when you're older, the age
doesn't
difference
even
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Yeah.
As long as he has his life together, totally.
What'd
Okay,
you
well,
really
I
wanna
hope
say?
that he got his life together by the time he was in 3rd grade.
What'd you really want to say?
As long as he has his shit together.
Sorry, Mom.
I don't know. I need
good.
to see more from Fred before I make a decision.
Fred. I just don't like that name. Can I be real with you? I don't either. Fred. Like, I
What
don't
about Frederick?
Yeah, but it's
Oh, God.
Fred. Like
I
you
feel like
call
he needs to
him
wear like a
Fred.
top hat, have a monitor on, a
Fred,
little
right?
All right, next up, Sterling, put your hands out.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
Jonathan the Tickle
No.
Monster. This was the weirdest.
Hard pass.
Dude,
Absolutely
you were 31
not.
years old. That is so weird. It could have been like a sarcastic joke. This is my occupation, but
What a
it
cool
wasn't.
career. You know, really look for a guy with like passion and.
Have you guys seen the documentary on Netflix or on HBO about tickling?
I would
Wait, you
never
think
watch
that you think he's actually that?
There's actual like tickling leagues. Like there's a whole documentary on it. So that's why I don't think this is a joke.
Did you watch this?
I watched the first 11 minutes.
How
paid?
late were you up watching this?
This wasn't
This is
recently.
just like
This was like
okay.
3 weeks ago.
Do you get paid?
I was on set somewhere. I had free time and I found it. I don't know. They have like competitions. It's the
Danny's
weirdest thing I've
favorite
ever
show.
seen.
I need
Has
to see
anybody
like
else-
your recently watched. Like, is this so
Yeah,
weird?
like recommended for
Right, for
Danny,
Danny.
like other weird fetishes. And
Whatever.
Stuff.
Apparently Rachel's live on Kimmel right now, so we'll talk about that next week. Next up was Lee, 30 years old, came out with the guitar. He's a singer-songwriter from Nashville, the only country boy on the show.
Oh no.
Sterling,
Down.
as a southern country girl, did you like the southern country boy?
No, I didn't like him. He
Why?
seems too short. That was like my first impression.
Purely because of his height? Man, that's cold.
Personally, I wasn't. Well,
real.
no. Personally, I wasn't like, oh my god, that guy's dreamy. I mean, he's not like Sam Hunt or anything. But then there, see where I'm at. But then But then when I saw the preview after, I was like, okay, no, I'm definitely not into it.
Not feeling it. All right.
I also just don't see Rachel with a Lee.
Yes, Renee goes, Lee's a very bad singer. Sabine Chat goes, Lee looks like a douche.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't like his hair.
He seems like he's
I
gonna
just
like butt
wasn't
heads with
feeling
her.
it. Yeah, I wasn't feeling
okay, maybe
the
it's a
whole-
hair thing.
The whole thing.
He's a
The whole
second-rate
package.
Luke Pell. That is a burn.
Oh.
I actually like Luke a lot.
I like Luke as well.
I like Luke a
Yeah.
lot. I hope he shows up on Paradise. I think Luke's amazing, actually. All right, next up, Alex, information sales 30. He's the one that said, look for me by the fridge. I think, Christine, you said he was the one that was vacuuming.
I think
Okay,
so.
funny story. I want to remind you guys of something right now. Rewind to last year. Okay? These girls are about to come out of the limo and they do some producer packages. Do you remember who was vacuuming in their apartment dancing around?
Was that the chicken girl?
Rachel Lindsay
No.
was vacuuming in her apartment.
Is that why he did
dancing around saying I like to be independent and do my thing, and she was vacuuming and dancing around.
Stop.
That's crazy.
So that was thought out.
Just saying.
I also have a weird
Just
memory
saying.
of the chicken enthusiast vacuuming. Is that weird?
That's
was
what
she
I-
vacuuming?
I was
That
just gonna
chicken
say that's what I
enthusiast
thought
girl?
it was. but
Yeah.
no, I don't know if it was her. Wow.
I thought it was weird that she was vacuuming and she was a chicken enthusiast. I was like, this
That's too
seems
much.
This probably
I
has
thought it was
feathers.
clever. I don't even know if he knew if that was his intention, but I noticed it right away and I thought it was
Maybe
clever.
it
I like
was.
details.
Maybe.
though.
Yeah.
See, I
Good-
pay
good
attention
catch.
to like how awkward they are afterwards, and he had this vibe to him that was like, oh, he was trying to make like awkward jokes, like, oh, like maybe I'll see you inside. I don't remember what he said when they say
He said
goodbye.
by the fridge. He goes, I'll be by the fridge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
It
like
was the
some
way-
cleaning joke.
Yeah.
I have two things. One, it was obnoxious
Yeah.
when he was vacuuming when that other guy was trying to have a one-on-one. Like, that's just disrespectful, and it was really annoying as a viewer because I wanted to
Yeah.
hear more about that conversation that was happening. Second, I will say when he didn't have the vacuum and she called his name, I was like, wait, who is this guy? He's like pretty cute. Because I was so distracted with the whole vacuum thing that I didn't even notice his good-looking face.
Based on his like contestant biography, though, he seems like a good fit for Rachel to me.
What does it say? What's his biography
His
say?
3 best attributes are he's adaptable, logical, and fun.
What's his profession?
He likes a
Adaptable?
woman
He
who's
doesn't like music.
Do you know what
though.
adaptable says to
Not
me?
good.
What?
I will move wherever you go.
wouldn't.
Hold on.
Ride or
He
die?
doesn't-
I'll be there.
Hold on. Alex doesn't like
Is
music.
it one of his answers that he
Yes.
doesn't like music?
He said-
that was like
Music?
all I needed
He said,
to know.
who are your top 3 favorite groups or artists and why? He said, Coldplay, Beatles, can't really think of a third one. Music isn't a big part of my life.
Can't
That's a very-
think
He's
a
of third
sociopath.
one.
That's a very.
Like, what are you saying?
So that means he's one of those like talkers in the car. Like he doesn't like to play music. He's like, let's have a
Yikes.
conversation.
He said, I like a woman who pursues me. He's like, okay.
That's so real. All right, next up. The only dude to cry tonight, Milton, 31, hotel rec supervisor from Florida.
Hard pass.
Milton, I gotta be honest, my guy, you were not the best dressed guy in the room. You said it twice, which makes it even more of a problem and offensive to me as someone who appreciates guys that dress well. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can
you
we
went
talk about the growling? That's a hard
all
pass on
parts
that.
of it. There's so many hard passes. These aren't just passes.
Yeah.
Guys, these are
Hard passes.
There's a few that are hard passes, and he is one of them.
I will say,
It's him that
he
sex
kept
guy.
it so real at the end, though. He was like, I didn't even get to wear all the outfits that I bought. Like,
Yeah, he did.
I probably would have thought about that too if I had left on the first
Well, of course
night.
you think about it, but I wouldn't list that and say
Yeah,
it
no,
in
I
every
wouldn't
interview.
say it,
It's
but-
like, this is my reason.
That
I
was
had so many outfits I
hilarious.
wanted to show off. What?
But guys,
Oh,
isn't there like a small part of you that wishes he made it till the end, then got eliminated, just so you could see how he would have reacted if he made it to the end?
Oh, Jesus.
You
No.
guys should have seen my suit I had for the finale.
I was gonna propose, girl. Do you know what the suit I had? Like, oh my god.
Some people are getting lit on the
Feisty.
live chat.
Oh,
By the
yeah.
way, for everybody that's, I want to pause before we go to the next one. And for everybody that's listening, maybe you're listening tomorrow morning, and a lot of people listen to this podcast when they drive to work the next day. We go live. Like, this is also live. I know it's a podcast. You guys rate us on iTunes. We love you guys for doing it. And a lot of people watch on YouTube later. But if you watch with us live, like while we tape, there's a whole live chat here. And there's several hundred people watching and talking to us live. We love when people do that. So if you guys ever want to do that, join us if you can.
Yeah.
'Cause it just gets in the conversation, and we like it.
Love
so,
it.
Next up, Adam, 26, real estate from Texas. I don't remember a thing about him.
Adam Jr., you don't remember
Oh,
that?
that's Adam Jr.
Muppet.
That's the guy with the
Oh, this is Muppet
dog.
Guy.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. I
Hey,
cannot
he got a
believe
rose.
he stayed.
Look, what I thought was weird is we never saw the doll talk. Like, why bring a doll and then not use it? Like, use your talent. If he was like talented and could do it, maybe you can make it funny.
What was his actual job?
A guy won America's Best, or what was it
Real
called? America's
estate.
Got Talent
Oh, okay.
with a ventriloquist, and now he's in Vegas performing shows. Like, that's a talent that America respects in a way.
Also, but
if
the
you're good
whole
at it.
doll thing is just such a risk. I feel like it's just
It's a big risk.
too creepy. So
Yeah.
some people might like it, like it's very select few to be fair. But then the majority of people, like all of us and Rachel, are creeped out and hate it. Like I'm probably gonna have nightmares for the rest of my
People
life.
are calling him the future serial killer, creepy puppet, creepy divine, Oladejo.
Lots of creepy vibes, like the tickle guy
Yeah.
and the doll guy. It's just it's
I
too
feel like they
much.
also put
gimmicky.
up an ad on Craigslist. Like there was like the actual auditions, and they put up an ad on Craigslist and got a few extras.
You're probably right. Next up was Matt from Connecticut. He's 32, construction sales rep. The penguin guy.
Penguin
and I like the
costume.
line he said. It's kind of clever
Okay.
because he said when penguins choose a mate, they stay together for their entire lives.
And she likes penguins.
And she loves penguins. It's
So
kind of clever.
I think it was a good.
He
choice.
got, hey, he got a rose, Jimbo. He got a rose.
It's a good
True.
move.
I'll give him a shot. There's worse options, and
He
I
could
think he was
be
okay.
an Alexis, so I'm here for it.
right?
Yeah.
But we can't just have hope for a different Alexis, like a male version. Like just because they're wearing a costume, they may be a terrible person, but we'll see.
Is that going to be like a thing going forward on future seasons? Like one person has to show up in a costume
Yeah.
and be like that guy or girl?
Be
Yo,
the
we got to
Alexis.
roll through these. I just realized we have a lot more. Okay, next up is Grant, 29, emergency medical physician from New York City. He got eliminated. Doesn't even matter. Next up, Anthony, 26, software salesman from Chicago.
Anthony is gonna be like a low key front runner. I feel like.
What? I don't remember
Anthony,
anything about
hold
him.
on.
Okay,
Look him
so
up.
he's a bald guy, tall. He's really smart. He's
Yes.
also from Texas. His bio, like, I was so impressed just by that.
What color was his suit? Was it tan?
I think it was like tan.
Yeah, I remember him. They didn't
He
give
was
a lot
in
of
the
screen
preview
time,
a lot. He didn't get a lot of screen time
which
tonight.
tells you
Yeah.
that he's going to be around a lot.
Yeah.
Him. Oh yeah, I feel like we saw him in the promo. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like shopping, I think, together and laughing and being very like cute. I don't think he's that attractive, but I
Yeah.
can see how they fit together.
He seems like he's really smart, has a good head on his shoulder. I mean, I have no idea.
Next up, Jamie from Santa Monica, sales account exec. He's 32.
No.
Went.
No.
Next up, Jack Stone, 31, lawyer from Texas. His mom died of cancer. He's the one who got the producer package.
Oh, yeah.
They had a couple moments. We didn't see a lot from him, which tells me we may see more from him later. I don't think
Yeah.
he wins, but I think he makes top 10.
He's an attorney too.
He's
Mo,
way more
26,
attractive
from
in
San
videos.
Francisco. He was the Bollywood dancer. He's the one who got hammered and
Yeah.
was acting
Was
like an idiot.
creepily
He was
watching
so
in the
weird.
It was
distance.
so freaking
His
weird.
reaction in the background when they were making out was a highlight.
Jedediah did not go home, correct? From
He
Augusta?
did.
He did
He
go
did.
home? Never mind. Next one. Mike Black used to be a pro basketball player from Chicago. 26, he had the brownie. Did he get eliminated? I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you.
No.
I think he did.
Did he?
Yeah, Mike. I don't have a mic written
Okay.
down, and I
All
wrote
right,
down.
I'm not.
At this moment in the limo, they cut back to the house, and people start asking. I think it was Josiah who posed, "Let's take bets on who's going to be crazy." And then, of course, as the producers
God.
do, we cut back to the limo, and it's Lucas with his freaking megaphone coming out, talking about he's 6 foot, 195 pounds, one testicle larger than the other. But at that moment is when Rachel yelled back, "So true, it always is," or something like that, and she starts playing into his joke. At that moment, when I was like, that's when I realized that she's going to keep him. So all the antics, I knew he was going to get a rose all the time because she enjoyed it.
Really? I
She
didn't get
enjoyed
that
the
vibe at
showmanship.
all.
Really?
I thought she was enjoying it until he said the testicle thing, and then I think her response was like, "Good to know," like kind of stop, like it was a stop reaction.
She
I
said,
didn't
good
think
to
about
know. She said good to know,
Good to
something like
know?
that. That is
Like,
definitely a.
I don't
I'm
know,
being
I looked at it as
cordial.
like-
Right?
Yeah.
Because she, again, kept her chill. In the most awkward, if someone says it to you and you're trying to keep your chill,
Yeah.
what would you say?
But to my point, did he get a rose?
Because
Yeah,
of the, I have
that whole testicle
You think it's
thing
producers?
also.
100%. Are you
producer
kidding
thing.
me?
Here's my prediction for Lucas. I ran a poll actually on my Twitter about this, and I want to pull it up. My prediction for Lucas is I think he makes it farther than people anticipate. I ran this poll and I said, how far does Waboom last? There's only 55 votes right now, but 56% of the people think half the season.
He's like the Corinne.
He is like a Corinne. He's
Yeah.
a little crazy. He's great TV, but I think he has a big
Please,
heart, and I think he
please
was
don't
drinking
compare
a little
him.
bit.
No,
too much.
I mean obviously like
That noise he
he's
makes? What?
the worst, but I'm just saying in terms of like shock value and like just buzzworthy things to talk
Yeah.
about, people
Yeah.
are gonna be. I mean, I saw Waboom like 80 times on my timeline within like the first few seconds
Yeah.
of him being on screen.
Hey, then for him, you got to give him props because he's being talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out
that's
of
what I'm
everybody
saying.
tonight, who's probably going to be talked about the most? Waboom, Josiah, who else? Give me your top 3, 4, 5. Who else?
Peter.
Peter? Because he got...
And
he was
Brian.
first-
And
yeah.
Brian.
kiss.
And Brian.
Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kiss
Peter was
guy.
first out and first rose when she gave out the roses. We'll get to that in a minute. First out of the limo and got the first rose when they called
Yeah.
people down. Brian got the kiss. Josiah.
And first impression.
Maybe Fred. Because they grew up
Fred,
together?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
I was trying to be honest, originally when we were introduced to Fred, I was thinking, who was the girl from Nick's season that they hooked up that one time?
The girl from the wedding from Jade.
Yeah, that's Liz. That's my friend, yeah.
It was almost like I wanted to compare it to that, but then the more I thought about it, the more I realized like they hadn't seen each other in so long that would be more of like they would just have more to bond over and more to catch up on, and that could go one way or the other. But it almost seemed doomed from the start because I thought it was like a Liz thing, but I guess it's different.
Yeah, well, because like they didn't date; they just knew each other. But
Bethany Van Sluten says, I ended up wanting Lucas to get a rose because I got sick of everyone acting like he's a terrible person just because he's crazy. I don't think he's crazy. I think he was just trying to stand out. And then he got drunk, and then he got a little, like, drunk crazy. I don't think he's actually crazy. But this is kind of funny. Miss Rahel Nana said, Waboom is a producer's pick. If anyone needs a Waboom shirt, Lucas is having a Waboom shirt contest on his IG right now.
Here we go.
Stop.
His IG is about to blow up. So if this dude's starting a t-shirt company, I'm going to be pissed.
Can you imagine hanging out with someone who makes that noise
I don't
all the
think
time?
he does. I think it's purely a show.
Does his face hurt? Because you literally see his everything
you see his
shaking.
cheeks, like,
I'm like,
I want to see it in high def slow mo, just saliva like.
make a gif of that.
Oh, I'm sure it's already on the internet.
Probably. By the way, Mike did not get eliminated. I saw that running in the live chat.
Brown.
Really?
Mike Brown, he didn't, and his contestant bio is still up on ABC.com, so he's still in the running.
All right, so DeMario talks a lot.
Yes.
Iggy gets super jealous. These are things I wrote down. Blake is the one that challenged. I feel like Blake's gonna challenge people too. Blake's gonna be a challenger. Blake, the sex penis guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he always picks like
That's
not
my
the top,
descriptors.
the
The
front.
sex
runner.
penis guy. Remember that guy? The sex penis
I
guy.
hope he goes home.
We're all like, yeah.
I don't think he makes it. He got his guy. Something about him was kind of weird. He's like-
he creeps me out
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's a few
We'll
of
throw him
those.
in the category with like the Muppet guy,
The
Iggy,
tickler.
the jealous
He
guy, the
seems really
tickler.
aggressive.
Tickler.
They're gonna have their own
Oh my
little like
God.
crew. Very aggressive.
Okay, would you rather date the tickler or the doll guy?
Dog guy.
Neither.
No, you have to pick, Christine.
I wasn't like, I don't want to.
I'm over here thinking
Okay,
about
I'm
this,
gonna
like, I have to
say
answer.
no.
I
I'm
you
gonna.
have the
don't
answer.
know.
But make sure they're girls.
I'll say the doll guy.
I would say the dog guy too.
Because I hate being tickled. Like absolute number one.
Good
hate
to know.
That. Just don't ever
Marking
do
it down. It's gonna happen on the
Ever?
show. If we ever sit next to each other, better stay on.
I'll
the
be
side
on
of the
this
table,
side of the
girl.
table all season long.
First impression, Rose. Were you guys surprised that it went to Brian?
I thought it
No.
was gonna go to Josiah.
Why?
At first.
Because he kept saying it. He was putting it out in the universe.
He put it in your head too. He was trying.
No, I think I wrote that down after his package, but then, well, his video package.
Clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. But I agree. Brian definitely.
Ooh, she had the most chemistry with Brian.
100%.
The whole night.
Well, I mean, if you think about who she really connected with, my only answer for this episode is Brian. Like, truly connected
Yeah.
with, not talked to, not was attracted to. Like, they actually had chemistry, and it was very visible to the audience. So it
Yeah.
was very clear he was going to get it.
And that was noticeable even before they kissed. Like, even
Oh,
when they
It
were
was.
just talking.
He's gonna have a
there was
mad big target on his back
Yeah.
now, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and there's some jealous, and not just jealous. It's one thing to be jealous. It's another thing to be outspokenly jealous. And as we saw in the preview, there are some dudes that are like outspokenly very jealous.
Yeah. Lots of egos.
I will say, so let's go through roses and then highlights real quick. I know we only got like a couple minutes left. Roses, I'm just going to run these off. Peter, who was the first out of the limo and gets the first rose. Will, Jack, Jamie, he was the perfect facial features guy, which really was weird to me too. We'll throw him in the weird category.
Yeah.
Iggy, Eric, DeMario, Jonathan, the tickle monster, which hard pass. I don't
Oh
know.
my God, I thought you were about to do
Whoa! Somebody please make a gif of that and tweet it to me at Danny Hoyt. Next up is Bryce, and then Alex, the vacuum guy. Jimbo, your guy, Kenny King, got a rose next. And then Dean, Matt, Anthony, Brady, Josiah, who kept talking about himself in the third person, which
weird.
brought him down a couple notches for me. Please don't ever do that again. Lee, Diggy, Fred, Adam, the ventriloquist, who Rachel made a funny joke and told him to leave his doll. Blake E, and then, of course, drum roll, Lucas gets the last one.
Wait, so you didn't say Mike?
Unless they didn't show it.
That's what I'm saying. I
wrote down
didn't
every
write
name in
down.
order.
Me too.
They
I
also
didn't get a
didn't do
Mike.
an exit for him either.
Yeah, I think he's still in it.
Maybe he was
Interesting.
taking a
That's
nap
so
like
weird.
Corinne did.
Hey, last year, Kristen May Whitney got a rose, and they never showed it on ABC, and she had to literally upload a picture of herself holding the rose at the rose ceremony on Instagram to prove that she got one, because it didn't make sense why she was not shown at all, and then was on the next week. So
Did people in the
that's
chat
very
see
possible.
him?
So I'm guessing he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Just-
Or
a
this is the kind of thing where they
hunch.
like try to hide a dark horse. And
Did
then people
Whitney
come out.
win?
No, Kristen.
Oh,
Kristen. It was Kristen.
Kristen.
She was the one who Liz told that she had had sex with Nick.
Yeah.
Who I know, those are the only two girls I knew last season. I know both of them, and so she told us about the whole. She came on the show here,
Yeah.
and she told us about the whole thing. It was super weird.
Yeah.
So.
That's
But she wasn't a dark horse.
Yeah, but
So you never know.
that's the thing. It seems like something they missed as opposed to they purposely like, we're going to throw off the audience.
A lot of people in the chat world got some love for Blake K. They're saying that they hope he goes on Paradise, but one-offs never go on Paradise. People that are eliminated on night one, I don't think nobody's ever gone on to Paradise.
I liked him though. I mean, he had potential.
People think he was hot. Ladies?
Yeah, he was all right.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 6.
Blake's a 6?
6.
I'd say 6.
6 is a
7.
card. Don't somebody give us something
7.
different. We can't have 6, 6,
7.
6 going on here. All right. Real quick.
I'll go with 7.
In the highlights, I'm going to start with you, Renee, and then we'll work towards me. Did you see anything crazy that stuck out to you in the highlights?
That stuck out to me in the highlights. What I'm really excited for is
Yeah.
whoever has a girlfriend. Like,
Yes.
And the fact that they got the girlfriend on the show.
Yes.
Done.
Yes.
Good job, ABC.
Oh my gosh,
Good
I
job.
cannot wait
Me
for
too.
that.
No, agree. That was like the oh my god moment. I think we all just gasped like,
Who is it?
I also want to know what she was talking about when she was like, I know everyone's judging me, and like it seemed like she had
Yeah.
something that she was like not the proudest of. Did you guys get that vibe when she said
Yeah.
that?
Wait, what
Because
did you say?
I've never heard her talk that way. She was just like,
Oh.
I know everyone's watching and judging me right now or whatever. She's
yeah.
never
She said,
like,
I know
talk-
people are gonna say about me
Oh,
Yeah.
like she's,
for making
so
these decisions.
like, what did she do?
Do you think that
people are
means
gonna
she's
say
picking
something?
a guy that everybody in the house is against?
Maybe.
That's what I
Probably.
think it was, because she said because of the decision she was going to make.
Yeah,
I think
I
it has
picked
to
that
do
on
with
that too.
keeping someone, whether
Right.
we all hate or the guys all hate.
Yeah.
So two things to note. Megan Kania just said Ryan Beckett did last summer. I still don't remember Ryan Beckett, and I don't think he stayed in Paradise long. So maybe Blake K, you got some hope. And also, Mike is still in because Chris Harrison mentioned, thank you to FV Ministry. Mike's still in because when Chris Harrison did the intro on Periscope, Chris talked about him meeting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on a basketball date, which is going to be a cool episode. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm also excited to see when and how Rachel tackles race because they did put that in her
Yeah.
highlight for the next year. Like, you know, I said the next year for later on the season.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever brought a black girl home before? And I know that everybody is waiting to see how that plays out.
Well,
I know
also,
I am.
one thing I noticed in the highlights, probably the main thing I noticed, is that the guys they show going far, a couple like the big extravagant, like I think
Yes.
they were in Amsterdam, and they were in Sweden at one
Sweden.
point. We see her in the vineyards that look like Napa. When she takes these guys, the guys that they show, it was still very diverse.
Yeah.
We saw white guys, we saw, I believe it was like a Latino looking somebody,
Yeah.
we saw African American. So I feel like that's not going to be like, it's not going to be a dominant race question, you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be very diverse all the way through the show, which I think plays to why ABC was willing to finally do this, which is a good thing, you know what I mean? Like, finally give viewers what they've been asking for. We've all been asking for 5 years, 6 years,
No, I
where it's
agree.
been like a pressing issue, like, okay,
Okay,
it's time to do
time.
this.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what
It's that.
actually did it, I think, was Unreal. Unreal came out
that's-
and
that's
called
one of
them
my
out
favorite
on
shows
it.
on TV.
Same,
Yeah.
and it's very close to home,
That's
I will
because
tell
one of the
you
writers
that.
was a producer on the show.
Yeah, and all the there's things about it, but it's very
Ooh.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think because of that they did a season where they made it such a pressing issue and really went at ABC where they at like this point they were so called out. They're like, okay, and people have been saying this for a long time, but I think ever since it was on such a big platform like a show, like and Unreal's big, they're like, oh.
Yeah. Like, we have to do something about
Mm-hmm.
them.
Misha C in the live
Yeah.
chat says, I feel like something may go down between the guys and race may be brought into it,
And
which
it
I
may be legal.
totally think
Yeah.
I
will,
think so,
could
too.
happen. Because, I mean, we see the bravado that these guys have and how confident
Yeah.
and, you know, outspoken they are. And I feel like, you know, somebody may let something slip and maybe didn't mean it a certain type of way or whatever the case may be and might offend someone else in the house.
For the sake
Was
of
it-
humanity, I hope it's not, because that sucks, and I don't
yeah,
want to
I don't
watch
want it to go that route, but like
really
it's
hope not.
totally possible.
I know.
Was it Kenny with the bloody eye
Yeah.
in the preview?
I-
to
I-
be
by the
fair,
way-
they did James Taylor with the bloody
was
eye,
just-
and that
It
was
was
from
fake.
football.
I was just gonna
so
say,
it's
by the
like,
way, I don't
yeah.
think that blood has to do with whatever the fight is.
Yeah.
I think, and it
done
looked
that.
it
Yeah,
looked
I see
fake
it.
to me. It looked like there was like sugar or powdered sugar or something.
Like
'cause you make-
paint.
yeah.
It's like
That's annoying
so-
they put that in the preview then,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
around that.
They
Well,
always
of
try
course,
to
that's the Bachelor.
pretend someone's
Come
gonna get
on.
beaten up, and then it's like, oh, put paint on his eye, and then it's like nothing happens, and we're like, well,
That was dumb.
All right, so here's the deal. That is our show. Any final thoughts, Renee?
Final thoughts. I'm
You have
just
10, 15 seconds.
very excited, and I hope Peter lasts a long time, or just becomes the next Bachelor. Hit me up, Peter.
I'm gonna say this. Wow. We give her a platform to talk about the show, and she uses it for gold. I love her already. I will
This is
say this.
Renee's dating show. So.
Renee's going to be in and out of this panel throughout the season because all of us do things and travel and have other commitments outside of the show. Occasionally we'll miss, and Renee will be with us quite a bit. So that is who Renee is to the show. Christine, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Brian, if you don't make it, call me.
Hey!
That's my plug right there.
Okay, you guys can't take both of the ones.
Habla español un poquito.
Oh, hello, mis pantalones.
Mis pantalones.
Sterling, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, we know she's engaged now. So I'm like kind of looking for that all season. Like who's like ready for marriage? Because like a lot of these other guys, like the Mo's and the whatever, like I don't see them wanting to get engaged.
I'm excited to watch her on Kimmel tonight because I want to see how she reacts to watching tonight back and see her actual reactions from it. And if I had to shout somebody on the show, I would just say like Chris Harrison. If you want to retire, I would love to come in and take your job. So
What should happen is you host a show and Chris Harrison be the Bachelor, and then we find him someone.
there we go. I think it's gonna happen. Mark my words. I think it happens. Season 25. I think Chris Harrison's the Bachelor. It's going to happen. In the meantime, till next week, Renee, where can people find you, follow you, interact with you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Renee Ariel, and check out my blog, sextingandthecity.com.
Hello.
Okay.
And you guys can find me on social media at Christine Bean.
You can find me at Sterling Cates.
You can find me at Danny Hoyt on everything. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining. Love you, Mom.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.